So, hello, this is Max bringing you his first battle report number 1, 2,500 points, and it's going to be my Dread Elves versus a Sylvan Elves list. So, to start with the list, we've got so for my Lord choice, I've taken a level 4 on fire with a Wandering Familiar and a Black Dragon. So, obviously, the reasoning behind this is that the Black Dragon makes a very, resistant Dreadlord on a dragon. You can't really kit him up defensively anymore, so you just have to go all out killy. He's only going to have 4 attacks unless you kit him out with the +3 attack sword. So I thought I'd try out the wizard. Certainly, given of the Wandering Familiar, allows her to still cast magic even in combat. So you don't have to worry about being in combat and having your spells neutered. So thought I'd give her a try, see if it works. See if it doesn't, we'll find out. For my hero choices, I've got 2 masters on cold ones, which I'm just running with 3 up armor saves and great weapons, and another master on a steed with a lance and a 3 up armor, keeping them very cheap. One of them is a beast master, and one has the item that gives a reroll. You have to reroll your 6s to wound against ranged attacks. So these 3 characters are going to go into my Dread Knight bus. So that reroll 6s to wound is actually quite useful when you toughness 4 against strength 3 shielding. So it just helps keep them a bit more survivable before they get in combat, because with only 12 models, you've got max 12 models, you really need every single body you can get. And I've got a level 1 with a Dispel Scroll. So for my core options, I've got 10 Dark Shards, 5 Dark Riders with crossbows, and 30 Witches with full command. Or Blades of Nab, as they're now called. Haven't really seen any use of these in any Dread Elves lists at all, even online and stuff. Probably because they're expensive for the 10 models, and to run them as 30, as you see, you've got to babysit them with an altar to give them the 5 up ward. They're still just as killy as they were before. They've still got 3 attacks, poison, with hatred, and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm trying it out. I don't think they're going to work, because 1, I don't like using hordes, and 2, I just feel like as soon as you don't give them the 5 up ward blessing, the opponent's just going to rip into them and take them down. In the back you can see I've got a Kraken, and I've also got a Divine Altar of Nab. So there's my 12 Cold One Knights with full command, and obviously a picture of the altar again. And there's my 30 Witches, which I quite like. I like the paint scheme on them, so I've included a photo there for you. So my opponent's list, starting, he's got 10 War Dancers, he's got 8 Skirmish and Dryads, he's got 9 Wild Riders, 2 units of 13 Blade Guard. I'm sorry if I'm going to use the old terms, but I haven't quite learnt all the new terms yet. They've got full command and the Black Thorn Point. He's got, this looks like 1 unit of 10, but it's actually 2 units of 5 Way Watchers, or what are they called? Stalkers, Sneaky Gits, whatever. And he's got 8 Sisters with the level 4 High Magic in there, and I believe he's running a Fort Ward and a MR2 token. He's got 3 Kestrel Knights with Silver Blades. He's also given his Wild Riders Silver Blades as well. So these have a 4 up arm as well. He's got his, apologies on the picture, he's got his Dreadlord on a dragon. Well, not Dreadlord, it's a Forest Prince on a dragon, and he's wielding the Giant's Blade. He's got 2 units of 5 Glade Riders with Banner and Musician, and a 50-point Eagle for chaff. So I win the roll off to decide who's deploying. So I decide that really I can try and see what he's going to do, but he's most likely just going to drop his entire army to go first, because he's got so much movement that he can redeploy really where he wants. And so I didn't really want to take a round of shooting, given that I've only really got the 2 big combat blocks and then everything's sort of in support. So I just decided to drop everything first and drop it like so. So on the left I've got my 5 Warlocks, and I've got the 12 Cold One Knights with the 3 characters in. I put my Wizard in the Witches because she doesn't get killed by them for once. And also I quite like it because if you're worried about a combo charge, if I've used her scroll, I'll use her as chaff. She's 100 points. You pop her out 10 inches and you can redirect someone at the last minute, so it's not a bad idea. Obviously I don't know where I want my dragon at the moment, so she's just sitting in the middle and can fly to where she needs to be. straight away, feelings about this, I should have castled up even more and kept where the warlocks are. I should have either put the knights or the witches, and then I would have been able to refuse one flank and just come round with the other and just shepherd him round. But it's always difficult when you don't see what your opponent's doing, and you need to keep your options open. So it's not a bad deployment. Is it optimal? Probably not. So there's the picture of a line along. This is how he deploys. So he's got his fast cav, he's got his wild huntsman, he's got his sisters of the thorn, he's got his blade dancers and his scouts. He's got his dragon in the middle, he's got his skirmishing dryad. So obviously he's put his forest right in the middle because it sort of obviously makes a lot of dangerous terrains for my units, but also any of his units going there, they're going to be stubborn. He's got his eagle, and that eagle's just going to sit behind that impassable for the entire game and then jump out at the right moment, because that's what always happens. Then he's put his archers way back because to keep them safe. Basically, he's just taking this flank because those archers can move. All that stuff can move and shoot, apart from the Kestrel Knights. So he can just bring them forward and shoot. He doesn't suffer any penalties, and yeah, he's probably gonna. He's got that flank really. There's not. Yeah, I sort of screwed myself over there, so that wasn't great. There's another picture deployment. So this is vanguards. So I decided vanguards my dark riders around the impassable because I want to shoot those scouts, and first time I'll be able to shoot them without moving. So in response to that, he moves his Kestrel Knights up, and he's going to sit them there so that if I do decide to sit there and shoot, he's going to charge and kill me, and he's going to win that fight easily. I won't be able to flee, so it's a good response move. I can always just move them somewhere else, so it's not a problem, but obviously it just stops me shooting at his more important stuff straight away. So my first turn, his vanguards on this side, he just vanguards the wild huntsman up like that, and that's really all they do. So my turn I move the warlocks back to, in retrospect I should have just shoved those forward past the wild huntsman. I don't know why I didn't do that, that was a bit stupid. But anyway, I'm playing very defensive this first turn. I could have probably been a lot more aggressive. So I don't want to get charged by the Wild Huntsman, so I move my Cold One Knights back. I move my Dragon up to cast some magic on this side, because if I can reduce either the Wild Huntsman or blow up that unit of archers, that's what I'm hoping to do just this first magic phase, just to get more control of this flank. In the middle, I just sort of angle everything like so, not really, expecting him to come to me at this moment in time. I don't really need to move forward. In retrospect, magic is so poor for me, which is ridiculous because Vi is such a good lore against wood elves, but I just really bad luck with it. So really, I needed to be a bit more aggressive because I didn't have the shooting capabilities to take him on. Everything moves up like here. Just going to take some pot shots at some stuff. So magic and shooting does nothing. 30 shots against those Glade Riders did nothing. I failed to cast Fireball on 4 dice when he stopped the other one. Noteworthy to add that throughout this entire game, neither of us ever rolled more than a 1 and something for the power dice flux. So at most, you'd have a 2 dice power advantage. And so it just resulted in not much ever happening because high magic's good, but it's so situational that you only ever had one spell that would be useful in that turn. So I could always just cast, dispel that spell and let the other ones through. So anyway, his first turn, he moves his unit right up, and then he moves his Wild Huntsman there to cover each angle. And he's left quite a long charge for me, so that's why And then he angles his dragon like so. So what he's worried about here is if my dragon charges either of those units, because I'd probably take that to charge against the Wild Huntsman or the Sister Bus. Probably more likely against the Wild Huntsman because it wouldn't be steadfast. But then his dragon's going to charge me, and his dragon's a lot more killier than mine, so I lose that fight. He doesn't really move up anything else because he doesn't need to. On this flank he moves up everything quite aggressively, so he can shoot me, and he moves the Dryads into the wood just to make them stubborn. So shooting, well, Magic Phase first. He tries Curse of the Wildwood, which I dispel, and then he manages to get a Soul Quench through, but he only kills 2 Warlocks, but regardless, he decided to panic, and then he shoots them and manages to kill another 2, so there's 1 left, and he's going to run off the board, and that was annoying. My fault, really. I mean, they would have been really good to take on those ambushing units, but what I should have done is, as soon as he angled those Wild Huntsmen, I should have just sent them straight up that flank, because the only thing he would be able to charge with is his fast cav, and I take that fight easily because I have 10 strength 4 poison attacks, whereas he only has 5, so I'll lose a couple, but it removes them out of the way, and straight away he's got a threat. I can get them round, or yeah, it really wasn't because they're not a wizard, they're there to clear chaff, and on that flank there's only 1 unit of chaff, and I didn't even use them to clear that chaff, so it's a pretty stupid move, really. So shooting over here takes off 5 of the Dark Shards, and they decide to flee. And so it started my turn 2. So I moved my dragon back round to cover this angle for his fast cav in case his sister bus or anything wants to get out round the corner. I also try to angle my chariot to get a counter charge, and then I move everything forward up really aggressively because at this moment you can see he's killed 3 knights. Although that did happen because I forgot that I had to reroll 6s to wound, and he rolled 3 6s to wound, so that was stupid. I should have remembered that because it would have kept a couple of them alive. I moved my knights up aggressively like that, and I've given them +1 attack, so if he charges me, he's going to he'll kill quite a few of them, but he'll lose the fight because I've got the 3 characters in there who go before anyone else, and they really kill most of that Wild Huntsman unit. The only problem with that is that the witches don't have the 5-up ward on them. Thoughts about this phase. Again, can you see the mistake I've made? I've left that master half an inch out so those Dryads can charge my flank, and that's the reason why I didn't move them up straight in his face, because obviously the Dryads would flank me, and so that was just ridiculously stupid because he's going to get a charge and a flank. He's not going to win that combat, but because my master's got 4 attacks, probably killed 2 or 3, but he's going to hold me up either way, and it's just such a silly mistake to make. And you can also see with that chariot, if I just angled it half an inch more, those fast cav can just get by. We measure it, and it's one of those things I should have pre-measured, and it's just silly mistakes like that just take you from being a decent player to a very good player, and making silly, you're making it easy for your opponent, which is not what you're meant to be doing. So that's at the end of my movement phase. It's very much like that, very sort of boxed in, very defensive. Yep, there's another picture. So, in magic phase, I should mention that I did get 1 spell off and it blew up the 5 archers. I think that's one of the pictures beforehand. So his turn, he charges his Dryads into the flank, obviously, because why wouldn't you? And then he just moves everything round. So his fast cav zip past the chariot so they can threaten my Kraken with rear charge, which actually is not a bad idea because he's got a banner in there, so he'll have a charge, a rear charge, which is free. Even if he doesn't wound me, I've got to kill 3 or I'm going to run. So, I'll be monstrous. I have a monstrous rank, so I'll be steadfast and 6 or 9 within the leadership of the thing. But it's not really a risk I want to take, considering he's only got 100 points there to my 165 for that. So he turns his dragon to face as well, so he can get. He doesn't really want to charge those knights just because of the amount of static great weapons I've got. But if he can get a combo charge, then I reckon he'll take that, which will be unfortunate for me. Moves his blade dancers into the wood, which is always a good technique because they do. If I charge them, they do the 3-up ward dance, remain stubborn in the wood, and then he counter charges. So it's a really good ploy. This is where magic, I would have liked magic to to whittle down some stuff, but as I say, I just don't get any spells off. He moves his eagle up to chaff the witches I show, and as you can see, I think that's a later picture, but you can see that he's already started to pick off some of the witches there, so that's in the shooting phase. So I think in his magic phase he doesn't do anything of note. He tries maybe a Hand of Glory, which I'll stop, and then everything else he can't really use. So if you can see, shooting's there killed 8 of the witches, and that wasn't even full shooting unit. So it's not bad. This is what the left side looks like. The left side becomes a bit inconsequential because he gets his Kestrel Knights into the forest, ready for some flank charges, and those archers are just going to keep moving up and taking pot shots at me. I mean, the shooting's actually not that bad, strength 3 from a distance. You get really scared of it as an elf, but really, 13 shots hitting on 4s at long range, and then wounding on 4s. You're only looking at 3 or 4 wounds a turn, unless you've got a good armour save. So really you can weather it, and if you've got something fast, I mean, this is where I miss my just a fast character just to fly around and threaten units like that. The other thing is obviously I could have at a sooner stage brought my dragon over to take care of this side, because the spells against this side are going to be much more effective than on the other side, where my combat units could actually kill them by themselves. So that's how it looks like. Shooting takes off another one of these as well, and it brings these down to 2, along with the 8 witches he's killed. So in combat, I actually managed to kill 2 dryads, and then he 3 dryads, and then he breaks on leadership 9 or 10. So that was really lucky, and as you can see, it's allowed me to make the charge, because it's my turn 3. So I charge the Cold War Knights into his Wild Huntsman. I move those Dark Riders. The Dark Shides rally, so they're going to just try and shoot these Fast Cav. My Fast Cav come over to shoot them as well, because I'm just hoping to reduce them down to 2. The Kraken. So I charge into the Kestrel Knights, because if I get that, I think it was a 9 charge, but if I get it, I kill them, because he does the D3 wounds. And I just fail. And in retrospect, I should have maybe just marched him towards these fast cav. I mean, the problem with the Kraken this game was that I didn't really have a use for him, or I didn't assign him a use. I didn't say, this is your job, this is what you need to do. And because of that, I end up just not really doing anything with him. And I mean, one use could have been getting him into a dragon. He would be very good against a dragon, but it has to be a combo charge with a dragon. So it's one of those. The chariot moves round to counter-charge anything that's going to hit those witches, and the dragon moves up the side like so to threaten those that fast cav bunker. Magic does nothing again, and I just wipe out that. I don't have a picture of it, but I wipe out that Wild Suns movement before they even get strike. So the 4 masters, each with 4 attacks each, just absolutely obliterate it, which is quite good. And then shooting takes off 2 more. There's the photo. Yeah. So these knights here, they just absolutely obliterate this unit and blow it up, which is great. So on his turn, he makes all. So what happened here is his eagle was obviously chaffing up the witches. I didn't want to charge him because I just bounce off a passable train and give up my flank. So I moved my witches back. I think I tried to cast a spell at the eagle, and it failed. Or whatever. It just all magic. This game was frustrating to say the least. Anyway, so the point was I moved them back because I thought, well, if the Blade Dancers charge me, they're not going to have ranks, and if the Kestrel Knights charge me a flank, they're not going to have ranks. So that's fine. And actually, what I was really hoping for was that the Kestrel Knights would charge those Dark Shards, expecting me to flee, whereas I would hold, give up those points, but at least it wouldn't be a combo charge. Now, by moving back, I did give the Dragon an 11-inch charge. And so I was thinking, well, if Kestrel Knights and the Blade Dancers get in, they're probably not going to kill enough. Or they might do. They might kill enough, but I should kill enough back, especially with the Blade Dancers if they don't do their 3-up ward. I should just obliterate them, and that'd be an okay sort of exchange. But he managed to get the dragon in, so now that unit's toast basically, because there's only so much to do. I mean, in retrospect, what I should have done, because what I said at the start of the game, is I should have just popped my wizard out. I should have popped my wizard out, then moved the witches back, just to because I'd already blown my dispel scroll on something, and put them in front of those blade dancers, just to stop the combo charge. Because it was really one of those situations where if 2 get in, it's iffy. If all 3 get in, I'm definitely toast. So he sends his eagle over here to chaff. He doesn't charge my back of me, which I was hoping he would, because those masters would take that. He just moves around to shoot. I think he gets a spell off, something inconsequential. That's the problem with high magic. It's very situational. So he only really had one spell that I needed to stop, which made it easier for me. Shooting here does 1 wound to my dragon. Shooting here finishes off. Oh, sorry, he did charge those fast cav into the Kraken. As you can see, he didn't do any wounds, but I didn't kill him. There's 3 left. And so he just runs me down, because I think I was on leadership 6. It's just not enough. And this is a problem with a Kraken. You've either got to spend like 45 points to make him leadership 8, or you've got to babysit him with your general. I mean, in retrospect, again, talking about assigning roles, my dragon was there to obviously cast spells and get into a wizard bunker, because with the fast movement. So the problem is I didn't really do either of those things, and that's the problem with Kraken is you need to babysit it. Obviously the witches get destroyed. I think I do 1 wound on the Kestrel Knight and 3 on the War Dancers, because War Dancers do the 3-up War Dance, and they just everything just eats it basically. I think Shooting takes off another Dark Rider as well in his turn. I mean, the other thing is, if I did bring the dragon around this side, there would be a lot more shooting against it, and strength 3 or strength 4 mass shooting against it. Just need a couple 6s to get through it, and obviously the AP does the damage. So I kind of like, points denial. So on my turn, I charge the eagle, and then I think this is me showing a reform. Now, I could have charged my dragon in here. That was the idea. But I do remember now, he got the +1 ward save up. So he's on a 3-up ward on that unit. And so if I go in, I was thinking, oh, well, if he challenges, that's fine. But he'll remain steadfast if he challenges. No, he won't remain steadfast. If he challenges, he'll lose by 1 or 2, maybe. Because with the 3-up ward, I'm just not going to do that much damage. And then I was thinking, but if I fluff, or even worse, if my wizard kills him, I don't think he will challenge, sorry. I was thinking he'll just get his poisoned attacks on me. And with a 3-up ward, I was thinking, it's too risky to bounce off. When in actuality, what I should have been thinking, which I always forget about when I use a dragon, is that it has a breath weapon. So actually, if he doesn't challenge, I can just breath weapon, and I probably will get the 2 or 3 kills, along with the normal dragon's attacks. I have monstrous ranks, so I don't even need to kill. I need to kill 2 or 3. The charge cancels out his banner, and I probably win that combat and run them down. But instead, I just played very defensively and just flew over instead to I don't know what I was doing. I was thinking of something. I think it's to cast magic or something. So my chariot charges his blade dancers and kills them. I don't have any shooting because he panicked for Dark Riders. They basically ran off. Well, they're still on, but they definitely panic off at some point. So chariot comes in and destroys it. For that's magic again, just nothing. So basically, in this turn, the chariot just kills off his blade dancers, and my Cold One Knights kill off his eagle. And that's it. Like so, yeah. So these Dark Riders are there. Maybe they tried to shoot something. I think they were fleeing, because they didn't do anything, and I would have charged into the back of that. So I think they were fleeing at this point from shooting. So this is start of Tom's turn 4. And what he does is moves his dryads to chaff up. He moves his sisters round to shoot the dragon. And he moves everything back round to threaten that chariot. Like so. Magic, I believe he doesn't really do anything again. It's another photo of that. Another photo of what thing looks like. A lot of photos of the same thing. Yeah, so this is shooting. Yeah, so he lines me up to shoot the shoots the Dark Riders and just destroys them. Then he shoots the chariot, gets 5 wounds on it, and I ward save all of it, so that was pretty good. And then he gets another 5 wounds, and I ward save most of them again. Shooting here goes, he's chipping off that dragon, and this is where if you have a dragon, you need to be aggressive with it. And I think this is where I've never used a mage on a dragon, so I was a bit more timid about throwing her into combat. Whereas usually when I run a Dreadlord, or a Dread Prince on a dragon, you throw him forward, you just get him in there, get him stuck in. And certainly that was another mistake. You can see, this is what's great about writing these battle reports, is that you get to systematically see each mistake that you make, and how you make it easy for your opponent to take advantages of stuff like that. And especially, certainly in that situation where I'd actually got him on the ropes almost, you know, getting that sister bust, it's a lot of points with his level 4 in there. You know, it's one of those, would have I bounced off? Possibly. But, you know, should have done it. There's some more ward saves that I made against some more shooting. And this is my turn. So this is my turn 5. So Chariot slams into the Dryads because I think my thinking here was there's only 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, yeah. So I've given them +1 attack, and so they have 12 attacks on the charge plus the impact hits. Should kill all 6, which means I can overrun, which means if anyone charges me next turn, i.e. the dragon and Kestrel Knights, I can flee through that piece of impassable and they won't be able to get me. So I can conserve the points there. And with 12 attacks, hatred, poison, and strength 5 impact hits, I think I kill that unit. And what else can I do? I mean, turn to face. So, and this is where I bet you're thinking, what are you doing with your Cold War Knights? Well, this is where they failed stupidity, so they didn't do anything. Obviously, all my other units are dead now. So I fly my dragon over, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the template spell out of my familiar down both those units of archers, and hopefully kill quite a few of them. But more importantly, it forces the mandatory panic test and they're outside of the general's range. But you'll see that it just doesn't even go off. Yeah, so magic doesn't do anything. I have no shooting left. Oh no, sorry, I think magic takes off a couple. I don't get the template spell off, but I do manage to get another one off, which takes off a couple of the archers. Combat here, I don't kill him because he passes about 4 ward saves. About 5 at ward is pretty darn good. And just to add insult to injury, he he puts a wound on me, and because of the way he had 6 models left, he was able to keep one in the forest, and so he's stubborn and he sticks, and that's probably going to end up a chariot, because this is his turn 5, and he's thinking about charging those knights, because I think he was thinking about a combo charge for the sister bus, but he decides against it because it's still those great weapons are just going to, you know, do quite a bit of damage. You know, I don't know if it would kill the dragon, but there's a possibility you would lose it, and so, you know, there's no point to take the risk at this point in the game. You take the easy points by killing that chariot, which is what he does. And also, this is what was frustrating, is if I didn't fail stupidity, I could have pivoted those Cold One Knights. Yes, I'd have to charge through the wood, but I could have pivoted those Cold One Knights to get the counter charge against the dragon. But they failed stupidity, so they couldn't do that. Everything moves up so you can see... Sorry, magic didn't do anything, did it? Look, Diddly Squat didn't kill any of those archers. So he moves up his archers to shoot my dragon, he moves up the Kestrel Knights into the forest, and he moves his things around the Cold War Knights. Because that's the other thing about this game, is I kept on thinking that the sister bus was fast cav, but they're not anymore because they had the character in. So really, they're much easier to pin down, and certainly that big turning point was when the dragon had them. It should have just taken them a chance to take it on. And certainly if I'd hadn't failed stupidity, I could either pivoted back to the dragon or could have blocked the sister bus because of the way they were facing. I could have reformed into a long line and then really you've caught them. So yeah, Beastmaster's very good. You're very unlikely to fail stupidity, but you know it does happen. Maybe we should start including the BSB. That's my problem. So there's the dragon slamming into chariot, and there's everything moving up to shoot at some stuff. I don't think shooting does anything against the knights. Dragon eats the chariot, obviously, and he overruns just enough to get out of my line of sight. So on my turn, I charge the archers who flee, and then I charge the Kestrel Knights who also flee, and then I choose to fail against the Kestrel Knights because if I choose to fail against the archers, I'll be in line of sight as dragon. So I just shift up forward like that. Magic, I think I shoot some more archers and kill another 2 of the Way Watchers as well. Those knights are just going to face wherever. Well, I face them like that to block the sister bus because I couldn't charge with them. But obviously, you can just pop out his character and then they become light troops and then they can swing round. So it was inconsequential. So on his last turn, he's got really nothing much to do. His archers don't rally, which is good because they pick up some points there. And so he just brings everything forward to shoot the dragon to try and get it down to 1 wound or kill it and get half points at least. And yep, so that's everything converging. And he only managed to do 1 wound. And that's game. Well, hey, look at her. Yeah, she survived. What a douchebag. Thoughts. So, plenty of mistakes on my part. And how did I think this list performed? I like the level 4 on dragon, not going to lie. Especially with the Wand of Familiar on fire. I think it's not a bad choice. She's actually quite resilient to shooting, and certainly if you actually got her into combat more quickly, it would be better. What this list needs, I don't like those witches in the big horde. I just think it's a lot of points, and it's a lot of points to chaff up because of the frenzy, and it's a lot of points to lose without a 5-up ward, and I can see why people don't take them. If I would run them again, I'd go back to the way I usually run them, which is 2 units of 14, because people don't pay as much heedance to them. It needs more shooting and it needs a support character. It needs another flying character. This is the problem when you've only got 1 flying monster. You really need something to go in with it because you know if you get challenged out, a lot of people remain on steadfast and stuff like that. It's hard to get a solo charge out unless it's against chaff. The Dread Knight bus worked well. I knew it was going to work well though. You could certainly actually drop the dragon and put Achillea Lord in there, which would be quite good. Certainly needs more shooting because magic just... If you're rolling poorly, I know that's the same with all magic, but really it does make a huge difference. If you roll poorly, you're just not going to get the spells off. And certainly not any big spells. And even in this game, I was just trying to get small spells off just to get the attribute off because D3 strength 4 hits against elves is really good. And it just wasn't working. Yeah, it ended up being a major victory to the Wood Elves. Although I had only lost, I think I gave up 1,256 points, and I got something like 700 because of the Blade Dancers and the Wild Huntsman, and also the half points I got at the end. If I certainly managed to get that sister bus, it would have been a lot closer than it looks. And stuff like managed to get the chariot out of the way. Not losing the Kraken would have been a big help as well. Yeah, but just lots of little mistakes that added up to a lot in the end. And certainly playing a bit too with a lot of trepidation because actually his units don't hit that hard and shooting's not that good. Well, not as good as it used to be with the Wood Elves. So yeah, could have won it, but we'll take this as a learning experience. So anyway, if you have any comments on the video, I'm playing an Undying Dynasties tomorrow, so I'll put that video up. once it's done. But if you've got any comments just to say what I could improve on, I will be more detailed in my magic phases, but it was a bit superfluous for this game. And let me know what you think. Cheers, bye.